Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum class. Welcome to English grade 9 video lecture series. Students, today we are going to cover our students learning outcome of reading comprehension. And in reading, we are actually talking about the text. Now, this learning outcome is all about analyzing the text. Students, in a text, there are different organizational patterns. हमने मुख्तलिफ तरीकों से हमारा टेक्स्ट जो है ऑर्गेनाइज किया होता है, like in the form of cause and effect. We organize our text, or when we are reading a text, we find cause and effect, problem solution, comparison and contrast. We find sequence of ideas that are mentioned one by one, and we also find different list of ideas or concepts. So जब हम रीडिंग करते हैं तो हमने क्या करना है, आइडेंटिफाई करना है. For example, if we are reading a cause and effect essay, a problem solution essay, any persuasive essay, informational text, then we find different patterns in our text. तो आज का हमारा SLO रीडिंग से रिलेटेड है, where reading and critical thinking is very much important. We will analyze organizational patterns. क्या हैं वो organizational patterns? It's the way we organize our text. When we are reading a text, we find some patterns. We can find list or sequence of ideas or events. They are mentioned in a specific order, let's say chronological order. You can also find comparison or contrast relationship in a text. So students, I hope that you are understanding the relations. We will explore these today. We are going to talk about cause effect, which makes a relationship, it makes an organizational pattern that we find, and problem solution. We also have reasons or assumptions and conclusion. So there are reasons given with assumptions, and then there is a conclusion in our text. तो आज हम करेंगे problem solution and cause and effect. What is a cause? What is an effect? They work together. They are working in a relationship, and they can be found working together to give you the reasons and the results. So what happened is the cause, and how did it leave an impact or a result or consequences, that would be called our effect. Then we have problem and solution. In a text, there is a problem mentioned, and then we identify the problem and identify the solutions given by the writer of that problem. So cause and effect and problem solution, they are likely to be confused with one another, but they are different things. आज हम इन्हें identify करेंगे. So I hope the learning outcome is clear, and in any other lesson we will talk about these other organizational patterns and relationships as well. Now students, here is your vertical linkage, which is almost identical with your current students learning outcome. This is what we have covered in our grade 8. So it is linked, and this is also talking about reading comprehension. Now students, think of a time when you had to describe a problem. For example, in the last lecture हमने एक formal letter पढ़ा था to the editor for water scarcity, कि पानी बहुत ज़्यादा कम है, and this was the problem, and we can see that in that letter the writer of the letter, the sender of the letter, proposed some solutions to eradicate that problem. So number one thing is we identify the problem, and not only problem, but we also identify and understand the solutions of that problem. And we also have cause and effects mentioned, like one cause can have multiple effects. Now when you had to solve a problem, what steps did you take to identify the problem, find solutions and evaluate the outcomes? क्या करते हैं सबसे पहले? We establish that this is the problem. Then problems are meant to be solved. We need to find some alternatives, some ways, some activities and steps to eradicate or eliminate the problem, right? So जब हमें problem आता है, then we find the problem and also the solutions. And इसी के अंदर we can see that एक चीज से काफी ज्यादा चीजें मुतासिर होती हैं. So there is a cause and effect relationship as well, but they are different. Let's explore them. First, let's talk about problem solution. Now problem solution are most likely to be found in essays, जहां पे there is a problem and then the writer of the essay propose some solutions, some ideas to eradicate the problem. So this is what we call problem solution. Let's talk about a problem. A problem is, for example, here my brother is sick and he has a high fever. Now we need to do something about it. This is a problem. ये एक मसला है, एक प्रॉब्लम है जिसके लिए एक सॉल्यूशन दरकार है. तो सॉल्यूशन क्या होगा? I should give him medicine to cure his fever and soup to ease him, or I could take him to the nearest hospital if it does not work. तो ये उसका सॉल्यूशन है. नाउ इसी को अगर हम एक्सटेंड करेंगे किसी ऐसे में, तो आप देखेंगे कि इंट्रोडक्टरी पैराग्राफ में प्रॉब्लम मेंशन्ड होता है and the rest of the paragraphs, or specifically the second last and the last paragraphs, are providing the solution of the problem. तो ऐसे को हम क्या कहेंगे? Problem solution essay. And let's look at another example. Her bedroom is such a mess. Obviously, now we need to undo this. We need to clean up the mess, or cleaning up the mess would be the solution of this problem. Problem khatam ho jayega only if we act upon the solution. If we do not act upon the solution, then the problem would not be eradicated. So what would be the solution? She should clean her bedroom and make it tidy. So this is what we mean by a problem and its solution. अब इसको बड़े लेवल पे अगर देखेंगे, so there is water pollution, which is a problem, and can you propose a solution for this? Yes, we can. Noise pollution है, water problem है, इसके अलावा educational institutes में problems हैं. Then if you are writing about this, क्या करेंगे? हम कहेंगे that this text that we are reading, that is under discussion, is actually a problem solution text. So problem solution, are they working like a pair? Yes, they are working like a pair. Now, अब हमने कल जो फॉर्मल लेटर में ऐसे हमने पढ़ा था, प्रॉब्लम था, it was a person was writing to the editor of a newspaper that in our area there is a water crisis, problem, inadequate water, lack of resources. That's why people start using contaminated water, और उसकी वजह से क्या होता है? Diseases, germs, bacteria, poor health, etc. और उसने एंड में solutions provide किए थे to eradicate this problem. Now the same letter is under discussion. Now in that text we begin by clearly stating the problem of water scarcity and its negative impacts on the community. Problem है? बिल्कुल. Now what would be the solution? The text, the letter proposes solutions to address the problem, such as government intervention. Like government को step in करना पड़ेगा और कुछ ऐसे इक़दामात करने पड़ेंगे कि प्रॉब्लम का सॉल्यूशन हो जाए एंड प्रॉब्लम खत्म हो जाए. और कम्युनिटी एंगेजमेंट, everybody, every individual needs to take a necessary step and the measures to eradicate the problem. Then sustainable water management. तो ये 3 solutions propose किए थे उस sender of the letter ने. Now, one problem but so many solutions. So, let's talk about elements of problem solution text. वो क्या elements होंगे जो आप find करेंगे in a problem solution text. It can be a paragraph, it can be a passage, या कोई essay हो सकता है, या कोई article या blog, जो भी आप पढ़ते हैं, या आपकी book में अगर जो lesson है उसमें अगर आप देखते हैं that a problem is mentioned, then there would definitely be a solution mentioned as well. So, सबसे पहले in a problem solution text you find the issue or challenge is clearly stated. The issue or the challenge should be clearly stated. क्या problem है in its entirety and what are the cause and effect, वो भी इसके अंदर mention हो सकता है. Then you propose solutions. One or more possible solutions are presented, like we just saw in the previous example that there was one problem, but the writer proposes so many solutions so that the problem can be eliminated once and for all. मुकम्मल तरीके से. Explanation as well. Why the solutions are given, why they are workable. इसकी explanation भी आप find कर सकते हैं. So you have a problem, solutions and then some explanation कि वो problem को solve, ये solutions जो दिए गए हैं problem को किस तरीके से solve कर सकते हैं. तो ये 3 चीजें अगर आप find करेंगे किसी भी text में, that would be called problem solution text. So you can easily identify the problem and also the solutions. और यही हमारा students learning outcome है. We are not talking about writing the essay or actually producing a text. We are just at this point trying to understand that how we can identify problem and solution text. All right. Another thing is cause and effect. Is it the same? Are they interchangeable? No. Cause and effect are different things. Cause is the occurrence. एक चीज हुई, that is the cause. And if something happens, it will have a reaction. And that reaction, that result or consequences, उसके जो नताइज हैं वो क्या कहलाते हैं? Effect. And can there be multiple effects of one cause? Yes. Can there be so many causes and they have one effect? Might be a possibility. Now let's talk about cause and effect. Now, the text then explores, where is it? The text then explores the causes of the problem, such as inadequate infrastructure, contamination and lack of water conservation practices. These are the causes. क्या effect होगा? लोग बीमार होंगे, पानी पीने को साफ नहीं मिलेगा, ये सारे उसके effects हैं. Causes क्या हो सकते हैं? Inadequate infrastructure, यानी infrastructure ही नहीं है कि water को preserve किया जाए या उसको filter out किया जाए या clean किया जाए. One cause. Then you can you can say lack of water conservation, and then yes, water conservation practices. So these are the 2 causes that were mentioned in the last lesson's formal letter. Then let's talk about the effects. ये वो चीजें हैं जिससे हमें एक result मिलेगा, reaction मिलेगा, that would be our effect. The text highlights the severe consequences of the water crisis, including public health risks, economic hardships and social unrest. Causes की वजह से क्या होगा? Water crisis, पानी पीने के लिए नहीं है, फुकदान है पानी का. There is a crisis that we will be facing. Public health risks, the health of the people, the individuals of the community will be in danger. Why? Because there is scarcity of clean water. Then economic hardships, there will be problems economically, and if the people are not satisfied, they will be angry and there will be social unrest. लोग परेशान होंगे माशरे में, unrest होगा, परेशानी होगी, people will be disappointed and they will be at unease and at unrest. So that would be our effect. Now, let's talk about an example of problem solution. Many people are concerned about climate change. Climate change is our problem. Why? Because when the climate is in this kind of condition, extremism hoga bahut zyada, weather would be either very cold or very hot. Is it a problem? Yes. Balance nahi rahega. That is the problem. So, uske liye one solution is to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by using renewable energy sources. Is it a solution? Greenhouse gases ko kam karenge, to then there will be less climate change and we will have a balanced atmosphere and environment. This is a solution. Now, हमने देखा था कि in a problem solution text we have these three elements. Thirdly, we have explanation. We talked about greenhouse gases as a solution, reducing it. क्या ये work करेगा? Let's look at the explanation. Renewable energy sources such as solar and wind power do not produce harmful gases that contribute to climate change. And thus, we proved that our solution is workable. It is doable. So, now let's talk about some examples of cause and effect. One thing leads to another. One action has a consequence, a result. Now we have an example. Since his skis crossed, he fell into the snow. Now this is an event that we are discussing. It is divided into two parts over here. क्या हुआ पहले? Since his skis crossed. एक बंदा ski कर रहा था. He was using this large paddles, ski paddles on snow. Somehow the skis crossed. Accident, he fell into the snow, जिसकी वजह से वो snow में गिर गया. So, cause answers the question that why or how did it happen, and then what happened after this. Something happened, but what happened? He fell into the snow. That is the effect. If you toss an egg and drop it, then it will break. What causes the egg to break? Yes, what causes the egg to break? Tossing an egg and dropping it. अगर आपने एक egg लिया है और उसको गिरा दिया है तो वो टूट जाएगा. तो अब अगर हम कहें, मैं आपसे पूछूं मोहम्मद, that why did the egg break? You will say somebody might have dropped it. That's why it broke. So, what happened? The egg broke. This is our effect. And why? Why did it happen? Because somebody dropped the egg. That will be our cause. Very good. So these are two examples to clarify that what is the relationship between cause and effect. They are extremely related to each other. Cause is our reason in simple words and effect is our result. So since his skis crossed, he fell into the snow. Why did he fall into the snow? Because his skis crossed. His skis crossed. अब क्या होगा? कुछ effect होगा. So that effect is that reaction would be the effect. So very simple to understand. Now, अगर हम text की बात करें in the form of a prose, if you're reading a text, if you're reading an essay, any text, any lesson, then let's look at an example that how does this cause and effect relation work. Many people think that they can get sick by going into cold weather, improperly dressed, However, illnesses are not caused by temperature, they are caused by germs. So while shivering outside in the cold probably won't strengthen your immune system, you are more likely to contract an illness indoors because you will have a greater exposure to germs. Can we find a cause and effect relationship? Yes, if you read it closely. First, what happened? People think that they can get sick by going into cold weather, improperly dressed. If अगर एक बंदा सोचता है कि सर्दियों में, एक्सट्रीम सर्दियों में अगर आप अच्छी प्रॉपर लेयर नहीं पहनेंगे तो आप बीमार हो जाएंगे. तो कॉज एंड इफेक्ट. बट दिस इज रॉन्ग. हमें टेक्स्ट कहता है illnesses are not caused by temperature, they are caused by germs. तो illness किसकी वजह से होगी? germs की वजह से. germs क्या है? cause, और उसकी वजह से क्या होगा? illness, and that would be effect. अगर आप ये सोचते हैं कि आप सर्दियों में प्रॉपर सर्दियों वाले कपड़े पहनकर बाहर जाएंगे, नहीं जाएंगे, नॉर्मल कपड़े पहनेंगे, समर क्लोथ्स पहनेंगे, then wearing summer clothes will be the cause of getting sick. Relationship is clear? यहां पे देखें, cause. People are exposed to germs. People get sick. So this is wrong because text negate करता है. The writer says that this is not the case. We get sick when we are exposed to germs. So exposed to germs, then we get sick. Is the cause and effect relationship clear? Very easily. तो इसीलिए हमने एग्जाम्पल्स के साथ कॉज एंड इफेक्ट को देखा था ताकि हम किसी भी टेक्स्ट में, पैराग्राफ में या पैसेज में कॉज एंड इफेक्ट को आइडेंटिफाई करें. अगर क्वेश्चन आता है इन द एग्जाम, a paragraph is given or a passage, then you can easily write a heading of cause, mention the causes and then mention the effects, and this will answer your question for the examination. Now let's see, again we have this as a classroom activity, this letter that we have about urgent appeal for adequate and clean water supply. Now अगर हम इसको पढ़ते हैं, हमने देखा कि प्रॉब्लम है and then there is a solution. We have problem in the first part of the letter and then we have some solutions over here. In addition to governmental intervention, community engagement is crucial for the success of an initiative aimed at resolving the water crisis. This is a solution, and all of the rest of the sentence, these sentences, these supporting details are supporting our explanation of the solution that we have. Very simple. Now, if you are asked to organize this organizational pattern in a graph, कैसे करेंगे? First, as you can see over here, definition लिख दें, what is water crisis or जो भी आपका topic है, then cause mention करें, effect, problems can be mentioned at this part, the left part, and solutions can be mentioned over here. So if somebody sees it, they can be very much clear that what is the topic, causes, effects, problem and solution. Very simple. So in this way, memorizing this chart, you can organize your text. You read a text and then you can organize it in this graphical organizer or graphical chart. Now students, here is your worksheet. इस worksheet में cause and effect, underline the cause and highlight its effect. आप ये पढ़ेंगे, इसमें cause and effect को वाज़े करेंगे separately. You can mark it with different colors, with different intonations, and then you can easily go through that. And in the skill sheet, you have your problem solution activity, where you will read something, identify the problem, and then identify the solution of that problem. So the very first and important thing is you read completely read the whole passage or the essay or the paragraph. Only then you can identify causes and effects and problems and their solutions. So we have your worksheet, skill sheet, this PowerPoint presentation mentioned as resources so that you can put your knowledge, put your learned concept into practice. So I hope students that we are clear about cause and effect and problem solution in our text. These are our organizational patterns. And furthermore, you can find comparison and contrast, जहाँ पे दो चीज़ों को compare किया गया है और एक चीज को दूसरे से कॉन्ट्रास्ट किया गया है, ऑपोजिट दिखाया गया है. इन दिस केस हम क्या कहेंगे? व्हाट काइंड ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल पैटर्न वी हैव? कंपैरिजन एंड कॉन्ट्रास्ट. इफ so many things are and so many ideas are listed in your text, then we can say that there is a sequence of ideas and you can clearly differentiate one idea from the other idea. So this is all about today's lecture. If you have a question regarding the organizational patterns of cause and effect or problem solution, then they are warmly welcome. So students, are we clear about the topic? Yes. Now your task is to solve the worksheet and the skill sheet, and not only this, but in the book you can read the letter, and in that letter you can find causes, effects, problems and solutions, and all you have to do is make columns and put the right thing in the right place, and this is how you understand the text completely. So I will see you in the next video lecture. Till then, do your worksheets, your activities, take care of yourselves, and Allah Hafiz.